So today we'll be making a turban, and for this turban you'll be needing 2 pieces of fabric. For now, this fabric measures 22 inches by 15 inches length. That is for the 2 pieces. The first one 22 inches by 15 inches, and the other one is also 22 inches by 15 inches. But I'm making this for a child, so that's why. If you're making it for an adult, you need up to 26 inches by 17 inches for an adult. So on it now, I'm marking out. I'll make the first mark at 3 inches, then the second, and then the other marks I'll start marking 1.5. Then I'll join them with the stretch rule. After your first mark at 3 inches, you mark the others 1.5, and then when you get towards the end, you'll also leave about 3 inches space. And this is what we have. You can see that at the upper area we have about 3 inches gap, and then on the down part we have about 3 inches gap. And here guys, I'll be illustrating how you are going to sew it, but I'll be using my pin to show you how you sew it on your sewing machine. So just watch carefully so that you will understand. See how I picked it. This is how you will sew. You sew down, straight down. After the first one, you start picking those ones just on the line, and then you sew on the line. You'll be sewing on the line for the other ones, and then also for the last one you will do what you did for the first one. For the last one, you will do it the same way you did the first one. This is so that we can achieve a neat finishing, that both edges will be very neat. That is why we are making sure that we fold the edges inwards. So guys, whatever I do for this fabric, I will do for the other fabric. That is it. Whatever I do here, I'll do for the other one too. And then I'm done sewing down, I'm done stitching down. This is what I have. If you look closely, you see how neat the edges are. See how neat that is. See how neat they are. They're as neat as the middle parts. So this is where the real work starts. Please guys, from here you need to watch very closely, very carefully. And so I fold to get the middle, and then from the midpoint I will mark 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left. Just watch carefully. From the middle part I mark 1 inch to the right and 1 inch to the left for both the upper part and the down part. See that guys? You mark 1 inch to the left and 1 inch to the right. So whatever I do here, I'll do for the other fabric too. Just remember that we have 2 fabrics, and so whatever we do for this one, we'll do for the other one as well. So from this place you mark 1 inch from the midpoint, you mark 1 inch towards the right and 1 inch towards the left side. And here comes a very confusing part, but if you watch closely you will understand it. Just fix your eyes on what I'm doing. See how I pick the edges, how I crossed it to how I pick the edges. The easy thing about this turban is that the both edges are neat, so you won't be confused or end up making a mistake. So you just follow carefully the steps. You pick this edge after the cross. You pick the two. You see how I picked them. I'm sure you saw how I picked the edges. See how I'm folding. I'm doing all of this. I'm repeating processes just to make sure that you understand. After the crossing, you turn to the right side and then you face the right sides together. Then you pin down. You are making sure everything aligns properly. This is a very tricky turban. So guys, you see these three places that I've pinned down. You have to stitch down from one end, from the end to that point that we marked 1 inch on both fabrics. Don't worry, if you are at this level, when you pin down, you find out that you see those points that you marked 1 inch. Just place them facing each other, right side facing each other, and then you pin down, because you saw from this rough edge down to that point that you marked the 1 inch. That is what you do for these three sides that we have pinned down. This turban is quite easy, but it's just that it's trickish. But if you do it the first time, the second time, I guess you'll get used to it. So for the three sides, you locate the places you marked 1 inch and then you face them right sides facing each other, and then you sew down. Sew these three sides down and then we'll come back. So now I'm done sewing down, and this is what I have after I've done my stitches. This was what I had. So now we are here, we're almost done. So now you face them right sides facing each other once again, and you sew down. Well, like I always do, I will illustrate with my pins before stitching down. So you pin them down, and that is it. Pin them down, and then you sew down. So guys, there is something on this neat part, on this neat edge, this neat open part. You take your head circumference. I said earlier that I'm working for a child. I'm doing this for a child, so head circumference I'm using is actually 9 to 10 inches. Since it's actually 20, but since it's a stretchy fabric, I used 9 inches, making it 18. So this is another piece of fabric, measures 6 by 6 inches. So fold right sides and we'll sew down. After we are done sewing, we'll make our running stitch down here. And please don't start from the band area. When you are making your running stitch, guys, don't start from the band area. I'm turning this piece of fabric right to the right side. This is what I'm talking about. When you are making your running stitches, don't start from the band area. See where I started. See, I started away from the band area. Then I did my running stitch and then I knotted down. After knotting down, you get your other piece of fabric, the small piece of fabric, the 6 by 6 inches piece of fabric, and you'll see the use. This is what it looks like. Our turban is already taking shape, like it has already taken shape. And this is our piece of fabric, the 6 by 6 inches. Watch the way I'm placing this piece of fabric, facing it downwards. I placed the sewn part at the midpoint, and then I sewed down. I placed the sewn part at the middle, and then I stitched down. Cut off the excesses, and then you turn it to the right side. Turn it to the right side. Turn it to the part that you didn't sew, to the part that the stitches are not obvious, and then you take that sewn part downwards, hide it beneath the pleats. This is so that we can achieve a neat finishing, so that at least if someone is looking at it, it will look very neat, and someone probably wouldn't know how you made it. This is how nice this headwear is looking. You can really make a lot from selling this. And guys, this is optional. I just decided to, since I'm making it for a child, at times they don't know how to wear it, so I'm trying to make sure that I pin down that that loop, that 6 by 6 inches piece of fabric down to the headband, so that it stays at the midpoint. So that's the purpose of stitching this down. That's why I actually passed my thread once. You see, I'm picking just this loop, this piece of fabric. I'm not touching the pleats. I won't stitch down the pleats. I'll only take the piece of fabric, the 6 by 6 inches, and then attach it down to the turban body itself. And that is to make it remain at the midpoint, so that the child wearing it can easily wear it without struggling to locate the midpoint. But this is optional, so I just passed the needle once, because this is optional. Our turban is already ready, but if you decide to add this extra step, it's probably not bad, it's good. So this is what we have, guys, and ta-da, it's looking all nice and lovely. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel and click the like button.